What up, my peeps? Oh my God, did I say that? Jeez Louise. I'm aging myself here. Hey, it is Wednesday, November 15th. We are carrying forward into this new week. I am feeling good, you guys. I'm getting great sleep. It's freezing outside. We are below 0 degrees, hence why I'm literally wearing my snow bib in the house. And this week, I'm switching it up a little bit. I love my protein. And let me give you guys a little tip. Whenever it's time for me to buy new protein powder, I go onto Instagram and I search for the hashtag myprotein. And then I come up with 5 billion trillion influencers who have 20% off discount codes. And so I just take their discount code. I don't even follow them. I just take their discount code and I put it into my protein. And every time I need to buy protein powder, I automatically get 20% off. But my protein is also pretty good. I mean, they're expensive, but they're pretty good about having sales. And so I will also load up on them. And I think sometimes with their sales, you can also use the influencer discount codes. But I tend to stick to safe flavors and I'm bored of them, like vanilla, chocolate, like I'm just bored of them. And so I got a little creative and I got their new chocolate peanut butter flavor, which I feel like has, and then also I add in a scoop of this high protein peanut butter powder. I feel like their chocolate peanut butter flavor sort of tastes like cardboard, but it has a really nice creamy aftertaste. And I just mix it in water like you guys saw. So it's nice, but unfortunately I got 2.5 kilos of that protein powder. And then I got, what is this? 1 kilo? Is this 1 kilo? 1 kilo of chocolate banana. And I thought that was a little risky because I've never gotten like a banana flavored protein powder. Something about that kind of like, oh, I feel like that could be hit or miss. And I actually really love it. It doesn't, like it's sweet, but the banana flavor is subtle. And then again, I put in a scoop of this peanut butter. So right now, this week, I'm doing 1.5 scoops of the chocolate banana, and then a tablespoon of this peanut butter powder, and I just mix it into 700 milliliters of water, and it's so good. Like I love the flavor, and again, this one also has a really nice creamy aftertaste, even just mixed with water. So that's that. Let's just take a quick second to talk about the healing aspect of this journey I am on. I invested in myself and I took some birthday money that my dad sent me. I bought myself a solid gold necklace. I finally, I hummed and I hawed, but it's 4 rings that are interlocked and each one of them has my kids' names engraved on it. And then since we have named our baby, the one that we lost, my miscarriage baby, Polly Yulene, we named her Polly Yulene Amalie Catherine, but that's such a long name. I couldn't find anything that I can engrave the whole thing on. So I just used Polly Yulene. And I can't wait to get it. It's scaled. Like the size of this thing is going to be just exactly the size of what my baby was at the gestation we lost her. So just having that physical reference and having her name be included on a ring, just like all of my other kids, it just makes it feel so tangible. Like she is my child. She will always be my child. And it's been such a healing experience for me to allow myself to give my baby a gender and to give her a name and to talk about her as a person and not just this concept of an idea of a could have been child that never was, because she was. 4 times she was. Each one of those miscarriages, that was my Polly. We tried to bring that baby to this earth, and that baby was. So I'm so excited to see her represented in the same way as all of my other kids. That's it. That's the update for today. All the geese are migrating. They're heading south. We're just seeing these huge flocks. Can't zoom in anymore, but they make these beautiful giant formations. Hey guys, I'm not at the same angle, but I was re-watching a bunch of my postpartum videos and I noticed that in one of my attempts at resetting a fitness journey postpartum after having my most recent baby, I had this shirt on, which I wore to the gym today, and I tried on a neon green pair of pants that I first bought and fit into 12 years ago when I did like one of my first bodybuilding journeys back when I was in my mid to late 20s. Anyway, I just so happened to try these pants on when I was, let's see, I think it was like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day of this year. And so I thought I would try them on now to see what they look like while I'm at this stage of my journey, and use these also as sort of like a reference point of progress. So give me a second, I'm just gonna like pop off screen, put these on, and we'll see how they're fitting now. Okay, so I'm gonna have to blur something out because these are low-rise pants. Oh my goodness, yep, they are not fitting. These are not fitting. They ain't fitting. They fit my legs, but yeah, they fit my legs, but they do not fit the rest of my body. Let's see, I mean, I can obviously button and zip them up, but like, oh man, these give me like a major muffin top, don't they? Here's what it looks like with the shirt on. It's not the same camera angle as I had on the last video, but you know, just for the sake of comparison, I guess. This is what they look like. Like when I first wore these, obviously I didn't have this, you know, these actually fit me very comfortably. So it's a nice thing to be able to judge progress by. I mean, they fit my legs very comfortably, a little tightly. I definitely have this to lose. So we'll see how that goes. Hey everybody! Oh my gosh! First of all, I am over-caffeinated, so watch this clip at your own risk. But, put you in my cabinet. I am heating up my lunch right now before I hit the gym. So, a couple things I just wanted to document. First of all, I took a trip down memory lane last night while I was laying in bed because I realized that I'm 1 week away from my first official like weigh-in and measurements situation. I have 1 week left before I do my November weigh-in and stuff, and I was starting to feel pretty insecure because, and I do this to myself every time, and I'm sure this is pretty normal, that when I start like a dedicated fitness and health journey, regimen, whatever you want to call it, it takes a lot of effort, especially in those first weeks, you know, like getting the ball rolling when it's at a standstill. it just feels Herculean, and huge changes are made to your lifestyle and your routine and the things you're eating, how you're eating, when you're working out, such and such, right? So it just feels so big that you expect even just after 2 weeks. 2 weeks is such a short period of time, but when you're talking about making such a big change to your life every single day and you stay committed, 2 weeks feels like a freaking lifetime. I gotta get my food out of the micro. And so, and I remember documenting this in my 2020 body transformation thing, where I was like, I think I had reached the 8-week mark, 6 or 8-week mark. And I'm like, by this point, I feel like I should look like a freaking fitness model, like it just feels like I've done so much for so long that I just expect to see so many more results than I actually see. So I was getting out of the shower last night and just kind of like observing my body, and I was looking in the mirror and I'm just like, man, am I making any changes at all? I feel like I should be making changes. I'm working out like every week now for the past 4 weeks, really. Every single week I have been adding weight onto my lifts. I am now lifting almost as much, like in terms of heaviness, as I was when I was super in it, like my muscle memory is really picked up. I feel strong and I'm progressively overloading in the gym, and I'm sticking with it, and I'm eating the foods, and I'm drinking the water, and I'm looking in the mirror, and it's kind of like, I guess I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. But I don't know. I was just looking in the mirror and I was really doubting myself. Like, am I making any changes? What if, just the doubts creeped in? What if, I'm 40 years old? What if my age is finally caught up to me and everything I've known to work for me in the past just isn't going to work for me this time? And I still don't know. I have not stepped on a scale at all this month. I have chosen to just stay the course and do my normal month-end weigh-in and measurements and stuff. So anyway, I went onto my Google Drive and I started pulling out pictures of my whole journey, and I'm going to put it up here while I get my lunch prepped. And I went from I started with my pre-kids body. Okay, just a couple pictures of what I looked like before I ever had kids, and then compared them to when I was full term with my first baby, and just reflected on what a beautiful journey that was. And then I pulled up these pictures, which is full term with my first baby, and then 6 months later. And with my first baby, if you guys know my story at all, this was actually a catastrophe. I had a terrible postpartum. I was literally dying of postpartum depression and anxiety. I was not sleeping. I was not eating. I had a totally catastrophic breastfeeding experience where that all failed. And this is not progress. This looks like it's progress, but this is not progress. This was my body literally just whittling away into nothingness. And I was still 4 whole months away from even getting any kind of help, like with my mental struggles and everything in this picture. But I do remember that by 6 months postpartum, I was starting to work out regularly, and just the weight flew off of me because I wasn't eating because of the PPD and everything I had. And then I flash forward to this picture, which was me at 4+0 with my second, and then full term in that pregnancy. Got to 40 weeks, I was ready, I was stronger, I was wiser, I was more prepared, I was ready for a redemptive breastfeeding experience, I was ready for a redemptive postpartum, but it ended up being just a whole different catastrophe. I did have my medication, so thankfully that saved me from the postpartum depression that did hit me, and it hit me quick. My breastfeeding experience was also a disaster, but I made myself into a martyr and found my way into an exclusive pumping journey. But this baby I had, you guys, my second baby, was waking up to 7-8 times a night till he was 2.5. I did not sleep at all. I was so sleep deprived. My cortisol levels were through the roof. And so I ended up gaining an enormous amount of weight in that postpartum. And so this was me 1 year postpartum. On January 1st of 2020, I set my New Year's goal that I was going to give it a whole year and I was going to go at it. And that's the journey that I documented sort of recently on my channel. And then, yeah, 1.5 years later, this was the body I built or produced, in that time period. Super proud of it, super pumped. But then I immediately got pregnant after those July after photos. And so here was now my journey from being 18 months into a fitness journey down to full term with my third baby. But again, like I had a great pregnancy. It was my strongest, most athletic pregnancy. I was 38 years old and like I really felt good. Like I killed it in that pregnancy. I was really, really active. And I documented that whole thing on my channel if you guys have been with me that long. And then, and now let's fast forward to this picture. This was, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know this was 10 days postpartum were those top photos. And then the bottom photos were, those were my pictures from 1 month ago when I took my before photos in October. And so like, this was me coming off of a high of having just a fantastic pregnancy, fantastic delivery. I had a great postpartum and I had a really decent breastfeeding journey. And then those bottom photos are me at 40 years old, completely broken and destroyed and heartbroken by the 4 miscarriages I had and just grief and deciding not to try for that 4th baby anymore and just completely lost and needing a change. And that's where I'm at. Like this, I don't know where this story is going to go. This is like, I don't have the happy ending yet. I'm working toward it, but this is where we are. So looking back at this whole journey, really did give me a lot of hope to stay the course, to stay committed, to trust the process, to remind myself that this isn't just about physique. This is about like getting a strong and healthy body and a healthy and strong mind, finding happiness again, finding my hobbies and my life passions and my identity again, building a body that's going to be strong and healthy going into some pretty critical years ahead of me. I don't know when I will hit menopause. I have not talked to my mom yet about when it occurred for her. It could happen. I mean, I could go into perimenopause this month or in 10 years from now. I don't know when that transition is going to be, but my goal right now is to really focus on setting myself up for my older years, bone density and getting some muscle mass on while my hormones still allow for it more easily than postmenopausal. Anyway, I guess that's just a little clip ahead of my weigh-in that's going to come up next, but also, you guys, something very, very exciting. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. I did a major thing. I have talked about this for 3 years now. And here in Sweden, they have this thing called friskvård, and it's just free money that your employer gives you to invest in your own health. And basically it's to get memberships to the swimming hall, or you can go and spend it on massages or, anything that invests in your health. You can get you can't buy gym equipment, but you can get a gym membership, or you can sign up for classes, yoga and online training apps and things like that. So I've always just gotten a swimming pass because then I could take my kids for free because they were all under the age of needing to pay to go to the swim hall. So we were able to just go for free each year. But my boss and I were talking and he peer pressured me in the best way possible to doing this because it's Black Week. I got myself a gym membership. Now, this is slightly unnecessary because I obviously have a home gym and I don't have often the opportunity to drive all the way down to where this gym is to work out, but it's free, number one, because my friskvård is paying for this. And, but also he got me super pumped and hyped on the idea of being able to just be around other people in the world. I live rurally, I work alone, I train alone, I'm home alone all the time. Being able to just be around other people doing fitness, being part of a club, literally, part of the club, just feeding off of other people's vibes and energy, man, that just really spoke to me because as I've gotten back into fitness, I've become a little more active on the in the lifting communities on Facebook, and I just suddenly feel like I belong somewhere again, like I have a community I belong to. I'm part of a movement, and I'm not just a fraud who used to be doing these things, but like kind of just doesn't walk the walk or talk the talk or, anymore. But like I'm really getting back into it, and it's just felt very healing and very good for me. And so I'm super pumped about getting back into a gym. I'm like really pumped about getting access to some equipment that I don't have. And even just having access to like a Smith machine so that I can start doing barbell lifts and not worry about not having a spotter. Like there's a lot of lifts I could do in my home gym, but I don't have anyone to spot me. And I'm scared of getting myself into a dangerous situation. So I just modify, and I'm not able to push myself as much as I'd like. So I'm really excited to have that opportunity and to just be around gym people and practice my Swedish and maybe make some friends or take a spin class or something. I don't know, just be around other people. This will be the first time, like really since I moved here 8 years ago, that I've been around like-minded people with like-minded hobbies and interests. So that is that. This was a really long clip, but f*** it, I'm putting it in this video because it's stuff that's happening and it's all part of the journey. So now let's fast forward to end of the month and we can do weigh-ins and everything and see how it all goes. We're gonna go into my office. I'm almost there right now, and we're gonna do measurements. So here we go. Do a voiceover for these because it's chaos in my house right now and I want to wrap up this video. So here are my 1 month progress pictures, and I'm really pumped about next month and to see what kind of changes I can make, especially now that I'm going to an actual gym and I'm able to challenge myself more. So I'm gonna put up another video in 2 weeks with updates, and yeah, so I'll see you guys then. Bye.